extremely special day to me, and it should be a very, very special day to you. And I know exactly how, many people talk about, I know how you feel. I do know how these four gentlemen feel. And it should be 5, but West Point will take its pound of flesh from you to the very end. So Adam's trying to clear his room. And I know everybody here understands that very, very well. We don't even have to, we understand it very, very well. And he will be able to clear his room. There's some tradition things I want to talk about, and then I want to explain a little bit about the ceremony, and make sure that you understand that this is absolutely my honor to be able to be part of this, and to welcome you to our homes today. And also Dan Hall, who will be helping preside. He'll help preside this ceremony as well. It's just for us, the ability to continue the tradition of the United States Army is so important, because I don't know where we get young people like this. I don't know where they come from. I don't know what makes us do what we do, but I know if we didn't do it, that none of us have the ability to have free assembly today. And I'll just tell you this, maybe it's bragging, I don't know, but our Facebook pictures are going to be cooler than yours. The dishes that we have in our kitchen will come from foreign countries, and we're just going to have better stories at the end of the day. And it's an expensive way to get those stories, it's an expensive way to get those pictures, but they're priceless. And it's going to be neat to watch these guys. It might be easy for them to put their uniform together right now, but it won't be long before they'll be, take them a long time to get all their stuff on their uniform as well. So a little bit about tradition. You notice the pants don't match the jackets? There's a reason why. The reason why is that when the uniform used to be all blue, but when we were cavalrymen, in fact, when you see Major Hall, make sure you look at the back of his shoes. He's wearing his spurs, because he's actually a cavalryman. When the cavalrymen would take off their jackets, it would be very hot, they were riding out of the range, they'd take their jackets off and put them in their saddlebag. Hence, the pants faded at a much greater rate than the jacket did. Now we have no reason to do that today, but that's tradition. And so we do it because that's the way it's always been. Now sometimes we don't let progress get in the way of our tradition, but that's all right. Naval Academy never does. But the bottom line is we are steeped rich in tradition, and we do everything we can to keep it alive because it's important, it's what we stand for. As I bring all my friends here, friends who've gotten out of service, friends that graduated from the academy, they always want to come, and they usually come in a much nicer car than I drive, and they come from their home costs a lot more than my home. But as I sit here and I make half to 1/3 of the pay they make, and they look out here in my yard sitting similar like you're sitting today, my stories are cooler, my Facebook pictures are cooler, and they can't buy their way into my neighborhood. I've never locked the doors to my home. These guys know it because they come in my home when I'm not here, whether they're supposed to or not. Every one of my neighbors has an advanced degree. Most of my neighbors have liberated small countries, and we did all that before we were 30 years old. So you can feel fear today. You can have some inhibition for what these young men are getting ready to be into, but they don't want you to. They want you to be as excited as they are. Because there's few of us that ever get the opportunity to serve like this, to earn the right to vote, to protect your right to vote, and they get to be part of it. So just be proud of them. Be proud, be happy, and when you're crying, don't cry for them, cry with them. Because we're excited about, I'm passing the torch. For me, my days are over. Now I get to talk today, and I told you guys that if I provide the food, I get to talk. And I'm a teacher, so we got some teachers here. I get the platform, I get to talk, right? A couple more traditions. Gentlemen, I need you to look at your rings. And notice in the academy rings, all the rings are exactly the same. Mine used to fit a lot looser. By the way, for everybody out there, this is my original commissioning jacket. But I did have to get new pants.
How did you keep them from shrinking?
They let it out twice. The academy, every academy ring is exactly the same. You have the academy crest on one side, and you have your class crest. My class crest being the class of '89, the last hard class. And then their class has the class of 2010. And gentlemen, today what we have to do since we've graduated is they wore their ring with their class crest toward their heart. And regardless of which hand it was on, they wore it toward their heart because they were with their class, they did everything as a class, and that's how you're able to be successful here is you have to do everything as a team. Well, now it's not about their class anymore, it's about the academy, because now they're alumni of the academy. Joe says he's an old grad, by what, 2 hours now, he's an old grad. So it's time now, gentlemen, to turn your ring, put the academy towards your heart, and always remember where you came from. And you keep your class crest out there so everybody knows what year you graduated. That's another little tradition. You don't need to tell anybody you graduated here, you let them figure that out on their own. That's not information you offer up front. That's just free advice. Okay. What we're going to do today is we're going to celebrate the time-honored tradition of moving them from cadet to second lieutenant. The second lieutenant wears a butter bar, a gold bar, normally which would be pinned on the shoulder. Because we've now changed the uniform, it'll actually just be bracketed on the shoulder. The tradition normally for your first promotion is that your parents promote you. Usually after that, parents start to slowly slip away because suddenly spouses start doing promotions. And for my last promotion, my children did it. So it's very special that mom and dad do the promotion today. There'll be 2 bars placed on the shoulders and then 1 bar placed on the beret. These gentlemen will all be wearing a blue cord very soon because these are all infantry. It's very special to me. They've chosen infantry, the oldest of all the branches, and they'll earn their blue cord upon successful completion of the basic course at Fort Benning, Georgia. So what we'll do is we'll promote each one of these gentlemen individually, and we'll allow you to come up and do the bar pinning, get lots of pictures. Only 2 things actually required. It has to be a commissioned officer present, and it has to be an American flag present. So we meet all the requirements, Major Hall? Yes, sir. There's met all the requirements. We are ready to go then. So Major Hall will post the orders one at a time. We'll call you forward, take whatever pictures you want. Then when we're all done with that, we're going to take the oath of office one more time. And hopefully you can do that by heart. I don't have to refer to my notes if I'm still sound by then. What we're going to do is we're going to take the oath of office where they're going to swear their loyalty to the Constitution of the United States. And they will then be administered with the executive office, belong to the executive office of our government. And at that point, then we're going to give them a small gift. And we're going to cut some cake. And we're going to make sure we drain all the kegs. And that'll be the end of our ceremony. So then we'll start our own traditions. But we'll always respect those traditions that came before us. So who's first in the back?